Hey, it's Thursday night. Have you ever felt like sitting in the dark? Yeah, well, kind of how I feel tonight, a little bit anyway. Um, I tested my headphones out earlier with the sound as it was coming through my computer, and I think it's plenty loud tonight. But welcome to It's About Us. And if it's not loud enough for you, please let me know in the comments. Um, I'm going to go ahead and launch this right away so we can get into it. Um, and I'm not gonna play any of my videos tonight, and I'll tell you why. This is my first update for myself. So last week, regular show, and I got a notification from Facebook, and I'm going to share it with y'all right now so you can see what I saw. And, it was shared with me privately, but I thought, what the heck? I thought I'd share it with y'all. So, oh, my phone's, hang on a second. Hey, dude, I'm on the air. What's going on? Wait, hang on. My headset's not on. Oh, I can't hear you. Hang on. Oh, there you are. Can I hear you? Oh, okay, I'll hang up on you then. All right. Talk to you later, dude. Bye. All right, my buddy Dave gave me a call just now. You couldn't hear him, but I could. Anyway, he's on vacation. We'll talk later. So anyway, I wanted to share this little screen here and let you know kind of why I'm sitting in the dark tonight. Last week I got a message from Facebook about last week's show. And there it is, right at the top here. Your video is blocked and can't be viewed in 249 locations. And only I could see that, right? So I clicked on that, and there's changes because of a copyright match. I'll explain that in a minute here. See the details. So the following actions were applied to your video by Sony Music Entertainment because it may contain 1 minute and 9 seconds of content they own. So when I created this video or this show, it had opening video. I had some music that I'd gotten from a royalty-free website, and it worked fine for a while. And then I got a notification that it was blocked because the owner had put in a claim. So I went and I looked at the royalty music site, and sure enough, that music had been removed from the site. That was weird. So I created a brand new video, and what I did was I went on to Facebook's music library, and I found music there that was already approved by Facebook, and I used that to create both the beginning and the ending music for the videos. That should be fine. That's what I thought. And here we go. So 249. Now it says territories, not locations, territories. And they're not exactly straightforward here. It's countries, okay? Look at all these countries, 249 of them. You go on down here and just, look at all this. They're mostly alphabetical. And I came down here and what did it say? United States of America. So it's blocked here. It's unavailable. And this is music that I got from Facebook, all right? So I put in a little claim, saying that, hey, this is where I got it. It should have been fine, but, whatever. So I'm not playing any music tonight, and that's why. And it's kind of why I'm sitting in the dark, because it makes me sad. So here's what I think. First of all, I am not a big player in the live streaming world. Just not. And welcome if you've just joined the show. Please leave a comment. Let me know you're here so I can say hello. But I'm just not a big player. I'm one of the little guys, and they've come after me with music that I thought was approved. Here's what I'm thinking. I may not be the only person using that particular music. And just like it happened prior, what I'm thinking is that if a certain music that's royalty free gets really popular and a lot of people are using it, the artist will pull that music from the royalty free zone and then put a claim on the music. I hope I'm not right about that. I hope I'm not that skeptical and that sarcastic, or that cynical, rather. That was the word. Skeptical, cynical, sarcastic. I don't know which word. It's an S word for sure. Anyway, I was very disappointed in all that. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm not going to play any of my music anymore at this point until I figure out what's going on, right? Why risk it? I'd rather people be able to see my show, sans music, than can't see the show. So I decided to sit in the dark. Sitting in the dark. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn my lights on. Hang on a sec. Light number one. Oh, look at that. Night number one. And now, hang on a second, get my microphone out of the way. Oh, a little bit more. Here we go. Light number two. All right, there we go. Oh, golly gee. And again, let me know if it sounds not loud enough for you, and I'll try to make some adjustments. But it sounds okay to me. Let me pop on. I'm actually going to pop onto my Facebook page, and oh, you give me a message telling me I'm about to start. How about that? So let me. This video is now live. Isn't that exciting? Watch live. Hello. Okay, now I'm gonna turn it off because there's too much delay. But the sound's okay, and it looks good. So there you have it. Wow, that was frustrating. Because I want I wait until I'm done talking to talk again, and it's like there's probably a good 5-second delay between what I'm saying and what you're hearing. But it sounded okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my earphones off because my ears get overheated, and the one thing you don't want overheated ears. That's really uncomfortable. But anyway, so that's kind of an update, and I've got an announcement that I'm going to make near the end of the show that I'm going to save for now, because there are some changes coming, big changes. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. For now, I wanted to go ahead and do my my little other update. Here we go. A COVID minute. Thankfully, I've not contracted COVID-19, and I'm really careful. First of all, I live by myself. I'm not extremely social, so I don't go out, and and I wear my mask, and I'm vaccinated, so I don't worry about it too much. But I do like to keep tabs on what's happening in our county. So we do this every week. Let's just see what Capital Public Radio has in store for us. So here we go. Let's see here. And you can see we've got a little bit of a plateau going on. We spiked up near the end, near the end of October. It's come back down, but it's come back up again. And if you look at what happened a year ago, we did the same thing. So this is October. This is November. November 5th, it starts climbing. November 5th. It's in a couple of days. So we'll see. We'll see. And I have a feeling that it's a post-Halloween reaction. But we'll see what happens. I'm hoping and praying that the curve starts going down again. But we're heading into the holidays. We're heading into cold weather. People are indoors more. There's still a large population that are unvaccinated and do not want to wear masks. I was reading earlier today that the number of COVID-19 cases in Europe is starting to climb simply because people don't want to be vaccinated. And that's a problem, because it's a global thing. And if one area of the world starts getting out of control, then it is going to circle the globe. So unless a country shuts down its borders, which we haven't done, it's going to keep going. And if I wish they had a day-by-day graph for cases. It's a cumulative graph. But what this does show is that it has continued to go up. I just, haven't done the math to see, by what number it's gone up. But it's still a problem. Still a problem. So, if you haven't ever been vaccinated, please get vaccinated. Please wear your masks at least indoors. Do your best to maintain as much distance as you can. And, wash your hands and use sanitizer. Keep those mitigating activities going, and to see if we can, at the least, keep this plateau where it's at, and at best start bringing that down again. Start that downward trend. That'd be awesome. It's up to us. Bottom line, it's up to us. So, I just hope we can do it. My faith in humanity right now is not great. But there's enough people out there. I think if we talk to our friends, and just, encourage them to keep it going. And, even though the masks may be comfortable, we don't like them. We don't like people telling us what to do. We don't like the mandates. And yet, to me, public safety and the common good trumps my discomfort. Absolutely just trumps it. So I will put up with my discomfort if it means getting this pandemic under control. It's a short-term situation for a long-term outcome. And I'm willing to put up with it. So, it's hard stuff. It's hard stuff. There's an awful lot going on, and there's so much of it. I mean, it's big picture stuff, but it affects everybody. We've got the Glasgow meetings going on. There's 129 countries, I think, represented there, talking about climate. And it's a hard thing. Not every country is structured politically like ours is. It's great to hear the president say what he says, but it's not up to him, right? It takes Congress. There's a 3-branch executive branch system. You've got, the Supreme Court, but 3 in the sense of you've got the presidency, you've got the House, and you've got the Senate. The president can't do it by themselves, and neither can Congress. They all have to work. They have to work together. And so any climate mitigating legislation has to be done by all of them. And it's just, I don't see it getting done. I really don't. And it's super sad. And I get it when no more blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of talk. Words are cheap. Action is everything. And, they were talking about not letting the global climate climb more than 1.5 degrees from where it was, like in 2000 or something. And we're already at 1.2. So we've only got 0.3 of a degree to go. And right now, we're not moving in the right direction if we want to try to really tackle it. And there's so many things that are getting in the way, And if you've heard me talk before, you know that I'm not a great proponent of capitalism. I think the profit motive will drive this country into a continual climate crisis. We are already seeing extreme weather events. We're seeing them now. And I think that's why a lot of governments are saying, we agree with the science finally. What do you want to wait until the fire's in your backyard before you call the fire department? So anyway, that's where we're at. And we'll see. We'll see how much worse it has to get before people are willing to actually do anything about it. My son, since he was about 16 years old, has participated in environmental activism up in the North California coast area in Humboldt County, protecting old growth redwoods and from lumber mills, basically. There's a great article that came out today in the Huffington Post, and I should have gotten it prepared for tonight, I guess. But it's talking about, at this conference in Glasgow, the nations all agreed that they want to begin curtailing deforestation, right? The lungs of the planet, so to speak. Now the forests take in so much carbon and release so much oxygen, right? But this article is all about those words and what's actually happening here in the United States. And our old growth forests aren't being protected. These are the very forests that they talked about, deforestation, curbing that back. And yet in the United States, there's no talk about that. So, talk is cheap. You can sound great from the podium, but unless you're able to get something done, do you really mean it? I don't know. I would hope they mean it. But, there are so many politicians that their campaigns are supported by big oil and the coal industry and the forest industry, the forestry industry, with all that. And they don't want to, what's the word? Bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah. There's just so much in this country that went awry. Citizens United, it just allows too much to manipulate the system. That what's good for the country, what's good for the world is no longer on the front burner. That profit margins are on the front burner. Giving bailouts to large corporations who then use the money to buy back stock and give themselves bonuses. But the workers don't see any of that. It's difficult. It's really difficult to support the system of economics that we have in this country when so many people aren't benefiting from it. The wealth of the country is in so few hands. I don't know. To me, it tells me that if things continue on as they have been, it's going to be difficult for the world in general and for the United States in particular. There's the pledge that the global community made a while back was that they would provide $100 billion annually to developing countries to help mitigate climate change, to do what they needed to do, right? To transition to, electric or wind or solar or whatever. And they've never done it. I think the highest they've ever gotten is like 80 million. But it's just, yeah, it is what it is. We're going to get what we get. And it's, it's just, to me, sad. It's really sad. But what's happy to think about? There's so much sad stuff to think about, you know? Think about happy stuff. So what's happy to think about? So if you've got some happy stuff in your life that you'd like to share with me, that would be awesome. I'd love to hear it. And I've got some happy stuff that I want to share. I had a great brunch with my daughter this week, and it was so enjoyable catching up and hearing about all the good stuff in her life, and it made me really, really happy as a dad. Really, really happy. And I shared with her what I'm going to share. Oh, I shared a lot with her, and I'm going to share a little bit with you, just a little bit, because a lot of it I'm going to keep as a surprise. But this is the second to last episode of It's About Us. I'm going to close this whole show because I've got something else in mind I want to do, a different kind of a live streaming show. And it's going to take some time to put it together. So I probably won't be live streaming for another month or so. And there's some equipment that I want to purchase. So I've got to save up for that. And I've got to really get my ideas down on paper. And then I've got some things I need to learn. It's all very exciting for me. And I can't wait to share it with everybody when it happens. I will probably have a final show. May not be on Saturday night. I'm not sure what I'm going to do exactly to bring this to a close. I want to let people know, in case they want to log in for the last time, just to say hi and goodbye. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's a good thing. I'm really positive about it. Couple things bringing this to a close. I'll be able to focus more on my podcast, where I've started season 3, and I need to get the episodes recorded. I need to finish it and get it out, and it's been a couple of weeks, and it's just so much stuff is on my mind. I just put it off and put it off and put it off. So I'll get that out. So that'll allow me some extra time there, and then putting this new show together will be very, very fun, I think. So that's kind of new, and I'm in a good space. I try not to let the turkeys get me down. I have a friend. His name is Ray. The question was, do you know what causes insomnia? Turkeys dancing on the ceiling. Oh my gosh. And he's not talking about turkeys, people on the second floor. He's talking about literal turkeys dancing on the ceiling. And he was a crack up, Ray was. We've lost touch, but as far as I know, he's still around. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. The weather's off and on, rain and cold and warm and sun and clouds. That's part of why I love California, because of the change. At least in the spring and in the fall, the weather can be so unpredictable. That's like that old saying: if you don't like the weather right now, wait 15 minutes, it'll change. Eventually, of course, it'll settle into what it's going to be, and then it'll be cold, and then the rainy season is normally January, February, March. So if the seasons hold, then that's what we'll probably see. The weather people are saying that's probably not going to be the way it's going to be. They're looking at a La Nina, which is a dry winter. And they're thinking that probably we'll get normal rainfall, but it'll be long periods of drought and then short periods of intense rain. Not a spread out rain. That's really what we need, so that it soaks in, so that we can actually use that rain when it rains hard, like it did, with a 5 point whatever most of that water just runs into the rivers and down to the ocean, and we don't actually capture it for use. So we'll have to, if our weather patterns change and things change, then we have to adapt, right? And figure out if that's how it's going to be, then how do we use this? Maybe we need to build better storage batteries so that when the rains come down hard, we can just pump that electricity out, the hydroelectric, and store it. I don't know. But people smarter than me, I hope, are working on stuff like that. Anyway, we're not going to do a call-in show tonight. Yeah, it's the effects of laziness, I think. I would have had to have done a little bit more preparing, and I just didn't do that. I spent some time today. Oh, my glasses. Hello, glasses. Will I see myself better if I put my glasses on? Let's see. Do I look smarter with my glasses on? Perhaps I do. Professor Chris. Anyway, so, I'm a member of the choir at the Cathedral of the Blessed Sacrament, and we go through a lot of music. And when we quit back last year in March of 2020, people still had a lot of music in their binders. And we had a lot of Christmas music that still need to be put away. And so a couple of months ago, I think, our choir director and I went through all the binders. We pulled all the music out, sorted it, right? Made piles and everything, and then put all those piles in boxes. And they've been sitting, waiting for someone to put that music away. So today, I volunteered to help out doing that. And so I spent, what time did I leave the house? I think I left the house right around 2:30 or so, and I stopped working at 4. So I put in, probably a little over 2 hours of work, volunteer work, which I don't mind doing. Putting the music in its, they got little holders, so it's organized and easy then to retrieve that music when the time comes. So I think I've got 2 boxes of music to do still, and I should be able to knock that out in an afternoon or a morning. So that may be part of what I do tomorrow, depending on if I can get access to those boxes, because they're not in the library, choir library. They're in the our old practice room, which I don't have access to. So once we get those boxes put in the library, then I can start putting music away. But that's what I did this afternoon, rather than preparing for the show. So I've got, one of the things I want to do is I want to develop a better workflow and a better work habit in preparing for a live show, right? Actually spending some time. Usually I look for, excuse me, I look for articles and right before the show, right? So I don't do a lot of prep work during the week to get ready. And that's just me enjoying my retirement and not want to spending a lot of work on this, making it as easy as possible. But, it's not as, this live show, It's About Us, hasn't really manifested in the way that I thought it might. And that's okay. But it has allowed me then to sort of step back and then take a look at what it is I want to do. Now, I enjoy doing this a lot. I enjoy the production side. I enjoy all the equipment. I just enjoy the ins and outs of doing it and being able to talk to people. But is this the format that I want, or do I want to do something different? And I want to do something different. So, and part of it is part of a childhood dream, and getting back into that and tapping into my own childhood. So it's going to be fun, I think. I think for me, it'll at least be fun. And I hope it's fun for other people. I really do. So, thanks again for joining me. I don't have much more to share. All is well with my kids, with me. My sister's doing fine as far as I know. So that's all cool. And you just have to take it on, take life day by day, And I was on a walk earlier this evening, and I thought, every time I have a critical thought about the world in general or Sacramento or whatever, right? I want to answer that critical thought with, what am I doing to make things better? Even a little bit, even if it's only a little bit. What am I doing to make things better? So that's my challenge for myself. I'm going to take a look at that. And I challenge you, and when the world looks bleak, even if it looks like it's out of my control, there's nothing I can do. Take a step back, take a breath, close your eyes, ask yourself, what can I do to make this world better? Then give yourself a few minutes for an answer to pop into your mind. Give it a try. Who knows? Nothing to lose, right? Except time. So anyway, I think I'll call her quits for the evening. And as I always like to say, at least I do on my podcast, be safe, be happy, be healthy, and God bless. See you later.